Welcome to a place that's close to my heart, the Erie Zoo. Pennsylvania is blessed with many natural, educational, and historic attractions. At the Erie Zoo, you'll find them all wrapped into one. With the help of the Erie Zoological Society, families from the tri-state region can explore foreign lands, see exotic animals, and learn more about their environment. Best of all, children can explore the world's unique natural gifts close to home. The Erie Zoo is a wonderful example of how in Pennsylvania, memories last a lifetime. My children, Tommy, Leslie, and I have visited this place dozens and dozens of times. We've seen the giraffes, the elephants, the otters, the spider monkeys, and all the other wonderful sights. And no matter how many times we visited, we enjoyed them just as much. The excitement was just as great. No matter how many times Leslie or Tommy sat on my shoulders, we could never be as tall as that giraffe, and we never, ever got tired of taking that train ride, did we? Absolutely not. It's a special place, a wonderful place to visit. It's a family place. Visit it often and enjoy it, just as we did.
There's something about an animal, whether it's an insect, alligator, or tiger, that grabs a person's attention. This unexplainable fascination is just one of the many reasons that 117 million people annually visit zoos in North America. Over 280,000 of those people visit your Erie Zoo. Your Erie Zoo is fully accredited by the American Zoo and Aquarium Association, also known as AZA. The Erie Zoo has over 300 animals, including many that are not usually found in a zoo our size. As an AZA accredited zoo, the Erie Zoo is able to work directly with hundreds of other accredited zoos throughout the country. Today's accredited zoos work together to help wildlife. AZA zoos share research, exhibit designs, membership ideas, fundraising options, advice, and animals.
All of this is possible because the Erie Zoo's accredited status means that it has the highest possible standards in all aspects of its operation. Nowhere are these high standards more evident than in your zoo's emphasis on naturalistic animal habitats.
It takes only one visit to the recently renovated main zoo building to see that the Erie Zoo strives to completely immerse the animals as well as visitors in a habitat as close to the wild as possible. As you walk through the doors of the main building, you may feel as though you've stepped out of the heart of Erie and into the heart of Africa. Lowland gorillas leisurely eat their afternoon snack, while black and white rough lemurs begin to bark out their presence. Not far away, a troop of drivet monkeys play a rowdy game of tag while the meerkats busily dig a tunnel under the African spurred tortoise. Outside, a pair of spectacled bear brothers engage in a friendly wrestling bout. Today's Erie Zoo animals thrive in natural habitats. However, the Erie Zoo was not always the showpiece that it is today. Founded as a city park in 1924, the Erie Zoo began with a small collection of animals. As the years progressed, the zoo fell into disrepair as a result of neglect and increasingly smaller amounts of operating dollars. The conditions became so severe that they spawned a public outcry for immediate improvements to the zoo or closure of the facility. The city of Erie was unable to adequately respond to these demands, and the future of the zoo was uncertain. The future brightened considerably in 1962 when John Cochran and a small group of civic leaders formed the Erie Zoological Society. Their goal? To create a modern zoo that would entertain as well as educate and enlighten the public to the need for conservation of animals and their environments.
In the early 60s, I wouldn't say that my father was known as a great animal lover, but I would say that he was a great motivator. And I think in the early days of the society, he understood that this had to be as much about the community and the people as it was about the animals. Rescuing the zoo was going to be a community effort.
The first major action of the society was to build, of all things, an indoor ice skating rink. Operating the zoo in the summer and the ice arena in the winter made good business sense. In fact, The Erie Zoological Society is still the only zoo in the country to operate a full-service ice arena. These facts underscore the entrepreneurial spirit of the zoo. The Society has continually come up with innovative sources of funding that support the zoo while providing educational entertainment for the community. Zoo-Boo, a not-too-scary Halloween event, and Zoolumination, a spectacular winter display featuring over 100,000 lights strung throughout the park, are two of the most popular events in the area. More importantly, they provide additional off-season revenue for the zoo. This revenue is crucial to the zoo because of its fiscal self-sufficiency. The typical American zoo receives 40% of its annual operating budget from its sponsoring municipality. However, the Erie Zoo receives less than 2% of its operating budget each year. The zoo generates 98% of its operating income, one of the highest percentages in the country. These funds come from admissions, memberships, events, and individual and corporate donations from all over the region. Regional support has also been one of the strengths of the new zoo. Zoo visitors come from throughout the 17-county area of northwestern Pennsylvania, western New York, and northeastern Ohio. In fact, 70% of the zoo's 280,000 annual visitors come from outside the city of Erie, and 1/4 come from outside Erie County. Furthermore, 10% of the zoo's attendance comes from outside the 17-county region. The Erie Zoo is now truly the zoo of the entire tri-state area. For what the community gives to the Erie Zoo, the zoo returns many times over. The Erie Zoo is an educator. The Erie Zoo strives to educate and familiarize people with the animal world, which will lead to respect for all living creatures and conservation of our natural world. Our zoo employs a full-time education curator who offers a variety of classes for people of any age. The Erie Zoo was one of the first zoos in the country to offer touching time classes for babies 6 to 24 months. These children get an early awareness of animals and the need to treat them gently. The zoo also offers classes for preschoolers and school-age children, as well as preteens, teens, and adults. In addition to classes, our education department offers a variety of seminars, teacher workshops, and family programs. The Erie Zoo is an entertainer, bringing people of every age group together to enjoy the wonders of the animal world. The Erie Zoo is a special place that goes to the hearts of persons of every socioeconomic level. A child can experience it, and an older person can experience it exactly the same way. It makes adults feel like children again.
The Erie Zoo is a conservationist. Your zoo, along with zoos all over the world, work together to save endangered and threatened species. One of the ways the Erie Zoo helps is in captive breeding programs for animals like this black-handed spider monkey. The zoo also participates in the International Species Inventory System and species survival plans for several animals, including the Siberian tiger, spectacled bear, and lowland gorilla. Species survival plans for endangered animals help to ensure that these unique creatures survive into the 21st century and beyond. In recent years, the Erie Zoo has taken its education and conservation efforts to a new level by including all types of animals and plants. Zoos traditionally exhibited large mammals like lions, tigers, and bears. The Erie Zoo, in an effort to present a more accurate picture of the natural world, has made strides in exhibiting insects, reptiles, birds, and greatly expanding our horticultural displays and facilities. These steps help us explain that many animals and plants are dependent upon each other for their very survival.
It is this concept of interdependence or biodiversity that has driven the Erie Zoo to add the Zoological Park and Botanical Garden of northwestern Pennsylvania to its name to reflect the zoo's increased emphasis on horticulture and flora of the world. The zoo currently has about 450 cultivated species of plants and flowers, including significant collections of orchids, herbaceous perennials, ornamental grasses, and dwarf conifers. A large 1,000 square foot public greenhouse provides a year-round horticultural and learning center for zoo visitors and serves as the focal point of the zoo's horticultural efforts thus far. As the Erie community continues to embrace the concept of a botanical garden at their zoo, even more horticultural improvements at the Erie Zoo are sure to continue. Over the last 35 years, the Zoological Society has made substantial improvements to the entire facility. However, the job begun by the founders of the Erie Zoological Society is by no means finished.
As we look forward to the 21st century, the Erie Zoological Society has also turned its eyes to the future. Continued improvements are already scheduled for the next several years, including animal exhibit renovations, improvements to our visitor services area, and expansion of our botanical facilities. However, the cornerstone of the zoo's future is our educational efforts. The zoo will add more interactive and hands-on learning opportunities and will soon be online with a worldwide website. This will allow students, teachers, and nature lovers to learn more about the Erie Zoo, its animals and plants, and the world around us. Today's children are much more aware of words like endangered and environment than we ever were. Our job is to foster this awareness so that they take it with them into adulthood and pass it along to their children. Hopefully the efforts begun by the Society in 1962 and continued today will encourage children to do their part in preserving the magnificent animals and plants that make up our planet.
Whatever the future holds, one thing is certain. The board and staff members of the Erie Zoological Society are committed to providing a first-class zoo for the entire region. Together, with the support of the community, they are ready to tackle the challenges the next century will bring. Through their continuing commitment to education and conservation, the Erie Zoological Society stands to serve as a leader in the worldwide effort to protect and preserve our environment and the plants and animals who share it.